Hi friends, it's Angie. Just uploading the final clip from the 2-hour interview with Sean Maguire on Out of the Bag Radio based in Ireland. And this final part covers Baby H, which was a case I worked on, gosh, it must be 3 years, long time ago. And sadly, despite the mother jumping through all the hoops and having a clean bill of health in the south from the psych evaluation and so on, she went back north and they got the baby. The baby was force adopted. I mistakenly said it was to a lesbian couple. In fact, it was an older woman with a younger husband, but nonetheless force adopted. Just an absolute tragedy. And just before I share this final part, if you don't think there's an agenda going on, the Taoiseach in Ireland, who's taking turns with somebody else being Taoiseach, it's like a kindergarten game, was gay. The Minister for Children, the head of TUSLA, was a lesbian practicing witch with somebody, one of her advisors, married to a convicted paedophile. And the new Minister for Children is sympathetic and connected to, mentored by, one might say, Peter Tatchell, who openly advocates paedophilia. One of his quotes in a book, which I believe this Roderick O'Gorman paedophile sympathiser, proposed children's minister in Ireland, referred to, Peter Tatchell says, myself and many of my friends had sex with older men from the age when we were 9 and we didn't see it as abuse. These are the kind of people they're trying to put in charge of our children. So I'm not being homophobic. I'm telling you, there's an agenda, not just to steal our children, make them property of the state, but to normalize the gay agenda, which is almost complete, and then move on to the paedophile agenda. So I'll share this final part of the recording, and if you could get this stuff out there, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Let's find this podcast. Here it is.
So go on then. One more subject to hit.
Okay.
I've just written down Baby H.
Oh God, yeah. I don't like to end on a sad note.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes this shit is sad. Baby H was forced adopted to a lesbian couple.
Ah, okay. But is that forced adopted to a lesbian couple? Is that a good thing? I mean, I don't know.
I just think it's social engineering. I just think that the family unit has been decimated.
Would you let my listeners know, the ones that don't know, what is the Baby H case?
Okay, so it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of other cases, because Child Protective Services is effectively turned into a child trafficking. They might do 20% of good work protecting children that are in danger, but 80% they've been infiltrated and they've been corrupted.
Yes.
And they are nothing short of a child trafficking, profiteering, cross-investing, corrupt. Like Catherine Sapone was voted out. I'm horrified that before she steps down, her latest contribution is that in future, victims of sexual abuse will have to submit to being cross-examined by their abusers.
Whoa. Well, she's a nasty, evil
That's
witch,
her parting gift. And she's also a lesbian. And I'm not speaking against lesbians or homosexuals, but it's just social engineering. We've got Leo Bradker, who's a homosexual. We've got Catherine Sapone, who's a lesbian.
No, I tell you what I really want to say at this point, just so that everybody hears it. Leo Varadkar apparently is our Taoiseach. Well, he's not. He wasn't voted in. And here's the other thing. He's a
like Theresa May. Like Theresa May.
Yeah, but hang on a second. He's a feckin' cokehead. He's admitted he's a cokehead. He takes coke on a regular basis. And apparently, if any of us lot on the lower echelons of the societal ladder do that, we're called junkies. So he ain't nothing but a fucking junkie.
And I've heard stories of youngsters being procured by his husband for him.
Lovely.
You know, so I have no, you know.
So you don't mind with what I just said?
Not at all. As a Christian, I'm told to pray for the leaders and to trust that God takes a man down, God puts a man in place, and so on and so forth. And to be honest, politicians, for the most part, have been compromised. But the social engineering that I see going on, where single parent, first of all, the family has been attacked as a unit.
Yes, absolutely, for years, Angela.
Yeah, and so the thing of single parenting has been fostered, and then the children's homes, they were just a trafficking opportunity. The Catholic mother and baby homes were just a selling babies opportunity, and a ritual, you know, supply line of children for rituals and abuse, as well as selling babies. It's just gone disgusting. And this poor mother was, despite she gave birth, she ran away from the north because she was being stitched up by the social services in, I think it was Lisbon. She ran down to me and she had the baby at Cavan General, and the midwife said she was wonderful and the husband was wonderful, and she would give the judge a letter, and she was breastfeeding, and and then psychiatric services gave her an assessment and said she was not only clean bill of health, she was an absolute heroine for the way she was fighting for her son. Because her husband committed suicide because they took the baby off them. And he said they made him feel, first of all, they said the mother was the problem. And then they said, no, it's your husband that's the problem, because he was an ex-paramilitary. So God forgive him, he hung himself believing them that if he was out of the picture, she would at least be able to raise their child. And then they said, oh, no, we got it wrong. Actually, we need to do another psych eval on you. And she's like, I've been evaluated. I've got a clean bill of health. They've told me I'm a superb mother. And no, they did another psych eval up in the north, and they said, oh no, borderline personality, cluster A, cluster B. Oh no, you're not even fit to have a pet, let alone a baby. No. Oh, lovely couple here. And the thing is about the gender confusion and about the family structure being broken down. There's then a gap in the baby production line, where you've got gay or lesbian couples who want a baby, and social services are acting as the broker.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Now, this might be a lovely lesbian couple that have adopted her son, but she didn't want her son adopted to anybody.
No.
You know,
no,
and Catherine Zappone with her wife, and Leo Varadkar with his husband. Can you see the insanity? If people are gay or homosexual, that makes up, I don't know, about 8% of the population. Absolutely. How come they're running our countries?
And look, you know, I'm sorry, but I remember going, because I had a lot of gay friends in England. I'm straight, and I went on a gay pride march in the early days, and I had to say to my friends, I don't want anything to do with that ever again. I said, because if heterosexual people got up on a float in the middle of the town centre and simulated sex, we would be arrested.
I know. It's the same. I made a video recently about the transgender agenda.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a transgender did a piss take video of me, and he's an ex-copper, but he really is intersex. He's a boy that was born with a womb and an ovary, so he really is intersex. But he joined the police force, and again, he says himself in an interview with Sean Atwood that he probably only got in because he would be their token transgender copper, or they've got a whole unit for trans coppers now. But he left the police force because of bullying or whatever reason. But I suspect he was then recruited to troll, because what more perfect troll than somebody that if I lose my temper and come back and say something nasty to him, then I'm the one that's guilty of hate speech.
Exactly.
See how that works?
It's very clever. It's like
if I say something about Leo Varadkar, and if a citizen did, what he's doing, they'd be behind bars, then I'm homophobic.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
You know,
it's crazy. Have you heard of a guy called Nigel Willis?
No.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. I've had him on my show a few times.
Okay.
And he's basically on a mission to completely create a replacement for social services.
Yeah, well, good.
Because he said it is corrupt to the core.
It absolutely needs dissembling, and we should hang our heads in shame for the way it's been infiltrated since.
And look what we're doing to our children now. I'm sorry, but a 4-year-old does not need to know how to masturbate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and what would you like to be for a girl? Do you want to wear a dress, a high heels? Yeah. You know, they're fucking. They've been putting in the fluoride. I know this sounds crazy, but in the fluoride, in the chemtrails, in the water, in the food, they've been feminizing the boys and they've been masculinizing the women. And the thing, ultimately, they don't want it to necessitate a father and a mother to have children with grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins.
No.
They want a baby-making factory machine mechanism to hand them out to mama and mama, or papa and papa, or whoever wants to buy them. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Very sad, isn't it, eh? Can you say a poem so it's not all doom and gloom? And then play some amazing punk music for the last 10 minutes of your show.
Well, listen, I do an hour of amazing punk music every week.
This can be depressing.
Tell you what, I hope it's not going to be a depressing one, but if Angela,
no, I don't want it to.
Angela, let's do some numerology and a bit of magic, okay? Ooh. Why don't you choose a number for me? Hang on. Between 10 and 90. And don't let it mean anything. Let the universe just give you a number that pops into your head. The first number that pops into your head.
Well, they're going to call me Illuminati, but I'm going to say 33.
Okay. Now, I've got a little book here. It's How I Feed My Children. A selection of poems out of the bag by Sean Maguire with a foreword by Thomas Sheridan. That's just for earlier conversation. 33. I'm going to page 33.
God forgive me. I'm with a disclaimer. I'm not Illuminati. I love Jesus. Okay. I'm not a Luciferian. I don't believe in magic with a K.
Okay. Well, it starts on page 32.
Okay.
And it goes on to page 33.
Okay.
And it's called The Thin Line.
Okay.
And it hardly ever comes out. Hardly anyone picks this. Maybe because they're scared of the number 33. Anyway, It goes like this. Walking the thin line between ignorance and reality is where most of us are. Sitting on the fence where reality is just an illusion and as close to us as the nearest star. Appreciation of luxury only becomes available after being put through hell. Knowledge gained through experience should be passed on via ourselves to our children so they don't have to go through the same hell as well. Why sit back and watch others suffer when verbal communication could be the answer to it all? Why enjoy the usual sight of someone else's downfall? Words are far too few when mouths are scared to talk. Why let others graze their hands and knees whilst crawling when it's easier to walk? Help is not a helpless word unless we do less to help a friend. Voicing ideas, views and experiences is the way to realizing the messages they send. We learn from each other. We learn from ourselves. We learn from the world all around us. But the ultimate truth must be learned by us all, or our destiny will continue to confound us.
Wow.
That was pretty appropriate.
That was just amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I'm just a simple poet.
But that's just beautiful. Thank you so much, Sean.
What that was saying was keep using your voice.
Okay. Well,
that's what it was saying, wasn't it?
Yeah. The last 2 people that offered to interview me, they got out. They asked me to come on their show, and then they exchanged emails, and then the trolls got to them.
Really?
So I'm glad that we know each other, and I'm glad that the good people recognize truth. You know, I'm not perfect, but I tell the truth, and so do you. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And none of us are perfect, and we're all doing our bit. I think the ones, and we're still around. The ones that a nod and a wink. You know, even at a demonstration in Galway or in Dublin, we know who we are.
Amen. Amen. That poem was amazing.
All right, Sean, I'm going to go off and walk the dog. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, look, I want to say thank you so much, Angela Power Disney, for coming on Out of the Bag yet again. Check out angelascaches.org, and we'll be talking soon, I'm sure, Angela.
All right, Sean, God bless.
Thank you so much.
And that's it. He's a lovely guy, and he's been doing this for a long time. He's got a poetry book. I ordered a copy. It's €10 plus postage, and you can find that on his blog. I'm just moved again at the plight of Baby H, and there are so many mothers that have lost their children to forced adoption and child trafficking, and it needs to stop. So please get this out, share this in groups, and something has to change, something has to give. Angela Power, Disney, Facebook and YouTube, and angelascaches.org. God bless.